Now the pictures change again at the top of the Premier League.
Pep says they must win, lose, and it's over. Bruno makes a space for a shot and curls it into the far corner. They have their equaliser. They've responded within 9 minutes of going behind.
They've responded like champions.
Bruno who shoots into the near corner. Oh, it's a terrific finish. It is Manchester City who are right in the thick of a three-way fight at the top of the Premier League. They go level on points for now with Liverpool after beating Palace away from home by 4-2.
Leandro Trossard with his 8th Premier League goal of the season. Arsenal have gone back to the top of the Premier League table. Brighton 0, Arsenal 3.
Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Take a bow, Kobbie Mainoo.
It could be the goal that causes Liverpool pain in their hunt for title supremacy.
Here comes Salah into the bottom corner. Another huge goal for Liverpool in their pursuit of the Premier League title. Advantage Arsenal and probably Manchester City as well. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2.
Arsenal are top of the pile.
We shouldn't do not discard Liverpool at your peril. I promise you, Liverpool are banging this.
Yes. They'll be a bit frustrated though.
They'll be frustrated.
Yeah.
You just don't know which way this is going to go.
No, not at all.
City have just got that aura about them where I can see them just winning every game. But can Arsenal win every game?
Arsenal don't concede goals, and they're scoring goals. Scored the most goals in the Premier League. Liverpool 3 goals behind them. Man City 4 goals behind them in goals scored. And they're just so solid at the back. Gabriel and Saliba. I mean, they've been solid, mate.
So, if you go back to last season, Arsenal, with them two, were brilliant. As soon as there's injuries,
Saliba got injured. Yeah. Exactly. People were targeting. As a striker, Raul, when I used to play against defenders similar to Gabriel and Saliba, Ferdinand, companies, like Ledley Kings, it's in your mind before the game of how good they are.
Yeah.
You don't even see players trying to knock the ball past.
I didn't like playing against pace. Real serious pace.
Pace, strength, good in the air. Both of them top defenders, and they could probably win it out on goal difference as well. Don't forget
Arsenal,
they're so far ahead of the others on goal difference, so it could go down to that.
Well, Paddy Powell will be delighted. Where is he? Singapore? I'd see some pictures of him on
He's
the phone.
everywhere in here.
Unbelievable. There he was, karaokeing in Singapore.
Was he?
Yeah. So he'd have watched the game. So Liverpool have achieved only 2 points against Manchester United this season, despite dominating both games. That'll annoy Jurgen.
Yeah.
Because Liverpool are a better side than United. There's no doubt about it, player for player. Jurgen did not sound too convinced by United when asked whether he thinks Arsenal will beat them Old Trafford on the 11th of May. Have a listen.
Probably. If we are still around, then that would be great. So, yeah, probably. But Arsenal is a good football team. And if they play like today, Arsenal will win that game. I'm 100% sure. So that's just, I'm really sorry to say that, but this is, matter of fact, we should have won both games and didn't. That's our fault.
talkSPORT's chief football commentator Sam Matterface was at Old Trafford yesterday for us, joins us now. Sam, a very good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Very good morning to both of you. Hope you're well. Yes, very frustrating for Liverpool. 87 efforts over 3 games against Manchester United this season, and they haven't won any of them. They've dropped 4 crucial points in the title race. And yesterday, 28 efforts on goal, 7 on target, an XG of 3.59 to 0.71. They should have won the match. It's as simple as that. They missed key chances, and Manchester United relied on 2 worldies to score. It was a terrific, thrilling football match, but Liverpool will be kicking themselves this morning.
Sam, how do you see this title race now? Is it too difficult to call?
It's too tight to call. Of course it is. Look, the fact is, Liverpool got a point yesterday. That keeps them level on points with Arsenal. Now, I don't think that any of the teams are going to go through the rest of the season without dropping any points. I think they'll win most of their games, but someone's going to drop points at some point. And I think Arsenal have got the toughest run in. There's no doubt that they've got to play Chelsea at home, Manchester United away, as we've already mentioned, and they've got Tottenham Hotspur in a North London derby as well. So they've got the toughest of the runnings, but I was so impressed with them on Saturday night.
Would you put Chelsea at home a real tough game for Arsenal?
It's one of those games where sometimes Sometimes Chelsea turn up and cause people a problem. They drew 4-4 with Manchester City. Sometimes they could be absolute garbage, like they were for large parts of the game yesterday against Sheffield United. But they've got the propensity to hurt you. All the teams within the Premier League have got the propensity to hurt you. They're going to play Aston Villa next, and Aston Villa have had a very good season, even if they haven't been at their best in recent weeks. Liverpool have still got to go to Everton and play in a Merseyside derby. That's a game where Everton will be delighted just to pick up a point in and spoil the Liverpool party. They've got to go away to Aston Villa and they've got to play Tottenham at home. So they've got testing fixtures too. And I think if you look at it and try and say, I know that this is going to happen, you're talking nonsense.
Sam, I think what will annoy Klopp from the FA Cup game as well and yesterday was not even just the finishing, the final ball. I mean, there was one in the first half. I think it was Bradley could have, played it across to Szoboszlai to tap in. Then there was one where Nunes just got to cut it back to Szoboszlai again. He scores. It's that final ball, isn't it? Man City and Arsenal would probably have scored 3 or 4 yesterday.
There was a couple of occasions, even yesterday, where they had numbers over and they were counter-attacking. I think it was a 5-on-2 or a 4-on-2 yesterday, and they didn't make the most of it. The same thing happened in that FA Cup game, as you mentioned. But I do think that the finishing has been a little bit lacklustre. I was surprised. Mo Salah had 2 or 3 really clear-cut chances, proper clear-cut chances, and missed them. Luis Diaz had a couple of clear-cut chances, missed them. Darwin Nunez, we've got used to him missing chances, but even by his standards yesterday, he missed a lot more. And Szoboszlai as well was part of that quadruple of players that didn't manage to convert their chances. This game was probably a big victory in real terms for Liverpool. It was there for the taking, but they didn't take it. And I think when you're in a title race like this, these are the moments you've got to make the most of. I think it's a setback for Liverpool. As Alan was saying right at the beginning, I don't think they're out of it. No. They're level on points with Arsenal at the top of the table. Yes, goal difference may come into it. But if I take you back to the beginning of January, Arsenal were the ones that were languishing in terms of goal difference. They were well behind the other two. And they turned it round really quickly with 3 or 4 thumping victories.
We've not mentioned, we're talking about, how it could swing. I suppose key injuries could be another reason, Sam, especially with 2 blockbuster games coming up tomorrow night.
Well, the other thing is just how heavily influenced both Manchester City and Arsenal will be by their Champions League campaigns. Arsenal got Bayern Munich, Real Madrid are the opponents for Manchester City. Both those games live on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 on Tuesday night. And we are very much looking forward to bringing them to you. But Liverpool in the Europa League, I'm not suggesting for 1 second that Atalanta are going to be a pushover. But I think Liverpool will be laser focused on their progress in the Premier League, where I don't think that Manchester City and Arsenal can be as one-eyed, if that makes any sense. They've got to make sure they play their best teams and go for it in the Champions League. So if those two were to progress, and I think there's a good chance that they both might, then they play each other twice.
Yes.
And that will take it out of people as well. And maybe Liverpool will benefit from that. Listen, we don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be so many more thrills. And what a fantastic ride it is. Yeah. I'll tell you what, yesterday, I absolutely loved that game. It wasn't the best in quality in terms of Manchester United giving the ball away and chances being missed, but it was brilliant to watch. It was great fun.
Sam, I want to, whilst we've got you, I've just been told in my ear that you're a Chelsea fan. You kept that quiet. Your team, Sam, are 27 points off Arsenal. Your manager is saying he needs more players. His team need 2 or 3 years to gel. Talk me through it, Sam, please.
Well, I think we've only got about a minute or so before the break, so I'm going to leave it for you to discuss because there's a lot there that needs to be done. I think over the course of the season, they've undulated a bit like the Premier League title race between despair and hope. I think there are now 7 Premier League games unbeaten, so they'll be delighted with that, even though they only got a point yesterday and managed to concede another late goal and lose their lead to Sheffield United. I think that they've bought well in Cole Palmer, but the rest of the buyers that they've bought have been players that have needed time to adjust to the Premier League. Pochettino, I think, has done very well to keep them on the straight and narrow for most of the season. I think listen, if you look, you say that it's a joke that they need more players. If you look at the actual squad on a match-to-match basis, you'll regularly see many youngsters that have never played in the first team make the bench because they haven't got the depth. which is ridiculous. And how can you spend the money that they've spent and not have the depth? They dismantled a Champions League winning squad, and they've put together a squad that they hope is going to challenge for the title in the future. I can't see it happening for a little while yet, and I don't think many Chelsea fans can either. The truth is that they tried something different. They tried to be innovative. It hasn't worked at this moment in time. Doesn't mean it won't work in the future, but it is a difficult season. I do think that they need to improve their communication with the supporters, because a lot of the supporters that I know are getting a little bit irate.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.